my brother's demise was my rise. You
For
know what I
sure.
mean?
Sure.
And his downfall was kind of like my breakthrough. But my brother, man, and it kind of ripped me to shreds, man, when I hear him say this, man. But he always harped like, man, like I man, he like say like, man, it's an honor, man, to take the fall for, so that my brother could be in the
Man,
situation. You know what I mean? Like if I could, like, you know what I mean? Like if this was the choice that I had to look back at and say, this is how life is going to be for your brother. You know what I mean? He was like any day of the week, man. Like,
I have a very, very special guest joining the set right now. And not only is this a special guest joining the set, it's crazy. No, I'm gonna pause right now before I even say your name. And look who calling.
that
One of our homies right
boy
there,
said,
Jonathan Cyprian. Um,
boy
we
said, you got
not
to
cutting
get
that out
sip
either.
on, man.
For sure, no question, no question. But to continue with the intro of my very special guest, my brother, Pro Bowler, Jonnu Smith. How you doing, my dog?
My God, T-Stud, you know what it is, man. Round two. You feel
Yeah,
me? You
yeah.
feel me?
So let me give you guys the backstory why New just said round two. So Jonnu Smith is the first ever guest I've had on the set. So he started my
No.
channel with a bang. He was traded from Miami to the Pittsburgh Steelers before the season. And he came on to talk about the trade and the emotions, everything moving forward to Pittsburgh. Did me a great favor jumping on the channel. And now 2 months later, we got 11,000 subscribers. We're growing, we're moving.
My boy
And
off the charts.
it's only right to get my dog Jonnu back on the set, man. I greatly appreciate you. How's everything going in Pittsburgh?
I appreciate you having me, my dog. We great, man. We great over here this way, man. You see the views in the back. And I mean,
Oh,
nice,
talk
nice,
that talk.
nice sunny day in the bird, man. But nah, we good gearing up for Sunday night football, man. And we like where we headed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm could be happy where I'm at, bro.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that. We're gonna talk some football for sure, but most importantly, I want to talk about the man, Jonnu Smith, and what you are doing in as far as leaving your legacy and your impact in the community. Jonnu, you are active. You are active. The New Family Foundation, you guys are serving and servicing a lot of lives, impacting a lot of lives, man. I want to definitely tip my hat and give you your flowers for what you're doing. Just to name a few, the New Family Foundation, you just did a visit with Gwen's Girls,
Mm,
Accident Medical Group. You have a
mm,
charity fantasy football league, football camp in Philly. Man, it's just you're killing it, bro. And that's to me, that's the most important part of the game is to leave that impact. Tell me more about the New Family Foundation. What's the goal?
right. Well, bro, man, first off, dog, I want to say this, man. Like, obviously making it to the league, that's what we always dreamed of, you know what I'm saying, since we was babies. And once you get here, man, and you start to establish yourself and your career is going in the right direction, on the field, you start to realize that you could do a lot more than score touchdowns, you know what I mean, and win games. And so as I became a man, dog, and as a man of faith, obviously, you know what I mean. I knew my purpose was bigger, far bigger than going to Pro Bowls and
Yes.
trying to win a Super Bowl every year. You know what I mean. And so being a man that has came from unfortunate circumstances, growing up in the inner city of Philly, limited resources, single mother, single parent household, poverty stricken area. You know how it is. You know what I mean? And I felt, me being in my position, man, it's a blessing to be able to impact, go back into these communities, and just have my hands, on people that I can inspire and reach levels and heights farther than I reached.
I love it. I love it. Actually, no, I want to stay right there. I want to stay in that pocket, man. You talked about your upbringing,
Mm-hmm.
being from that area. You just was awarded the community MVP across the NFL for week 7, and that's incredible. So definitely round of applause right there. And in receiving that award, you and some of your teammates visited. 100 inmates in Fayette.
SCI Fayette, yeah, SCI Fayette.
Fayette. Okay, at Fayette. And amongst those group that's incarcerated is your older brother. Your
Hmm.
older brother Wayne. He's been locked up since 2010. No, very very long time, man. Talk about that part of just having those challenges and adversity and
Yeah.
going to where you are now.
For sure. Nah, definitely, bro. That's why I'm here. You know what I mean? His story bleeds into my story. Obviously I know you got a brother as well, man. I had a chance to meet homie, real good dude. And you know how that brother bond is, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And, y'all, me and my brother, we same mom, same dad, we inseparable. You know what I mean? When we 5 years apart. But, just to kind of, dive into that story a little bit because it's, part of the reason, that was kind of how God, carved out this path for me and why I'm here today. So growing up in Philly, obviously it's a lot going on around in the city, in the trenches. And so my brother, he caught up in the streets by the time he a teenager, and I'm looking at him, you know what I mean? But he just always had that mindset of, listen, I don't care what I'm doing, I don't care what you see me out here doing, you ain't nowhere around me. You understand? Like, you not gonna do anything that I'm doing. You're not about to follow in my footsteps. And I used to be kind of looking at it from the side, like, and obviously I didn't understand at the time, but I'm like, man, you doing it? Like, why can't you know what I mean? And I kind of had that mindset about it, you know what I mean? But our father passed when I was 4 years old, and so he was the only man and the male voice that I had around in my life. And so I always looked up to my brother. And so when his word was, yo, you ain't go in the house, you know what I mean? You ain't coming around here. It's time for you to go. Like, I listen. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, unfortunately, man, you just get caught up into some things it's hard for you to get out of. And so that was kind of my brother's case. And so him getting caught up in the streets at a young age, wrong place, wrong time, got him caught up. By the time he was 20 years old, I'm 14 at the time. Literally on the same block that we grew up, man. There was, fortunately, man, someone lost their life that night. It was a big, fight in the neighborhood, and someone lost their life that night. And the police did their investigations, and basically said that my brother did it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And when that happened, that immediately forced my mom to send me away to live in Florida with my aunt and my uncle in Ocala, Florida. And so my brother sat in the county for 5 years, man. One thing about the legal system is, they say innocent until proven guilty, but that ain't really the case. You know what I'm saying? So my
Sure.
brother had to sit in the county for 5 years and fight. You know what I mean? Well, not fight, but wait to go to trial. You know what I mean? It took them 5 years to finally go to trial. So while they was awaiting trial, he awaited trial in the county, CSCF. And if y'all don't know anything about the prison system, man, the county is like the worst place you can be. Some dudes just like, man, just hurry up and sentence me so I can do my time upstate or in
Right.
the feds or wherever I gotta go. Like, sitting in the county is the worst, man. The worst resources, you know what I mean, is the circumstances, the conditions that they in the county, man, it is terrible. Rats and mice everywhere, you know what I mean? And so my
It's
brother had
nasty.
to endure that for 5 years in Philly. And during those 5 years, right, I'm, going through high school, I'm going through college, and my junior year in college was when my brother finally went to trial, and he went to trial and we lost, and got sentenced 25 to 50. So we thinking that he would come home that year, and he gets sentenced 25 to 50, man, because my brother was fighting for his freedom. And when that happened, that put me in a whole nother mindset as far as making it. Mind you, it's my junior year in college. I kind of got some hype around me already because I had a good freshman and sophomore season. And when my brother gets sentenced, man, that just made me turn it up to another level of, like, I gotta make it, because it was such a hurdle on my mom back already
For
to
sure.
try to provide fees to pay for attorneys. And my mom lost the house over that. You know what I mean? The house that my dad left us before he passed. You know what I mean? My mom lost the house over that, trying to provide my brother for attorney fees. And my mom had to move in with my sisters. And it was just a rough time for our family, man, financially. And so, I just had to be the one. Like, I was going to be the one, you know what I mean? And make it and, provide my family with better circumstances. And by the time that's 2015, he gets sentenced, man, and I get drafted 2 years later, and that's when we able to like really start appealing his case and hiring the proper attorneys. And it took us a long time, man. So that happened in 2015, and 10 years later, I'm literally at the Pro Bowl. I'm at the Pro Bowl, and we get a call from our attorney saying that the judge want to see us immediately, and this never happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it literally never happens like this. We like the judge want to see us. But long story short, we go to the hearing, and the judge, saw that there was some fallacies in the case, where the prior DA did some things that was, unlawful. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They did some things that wasn't lawful in my brother's case. And once you discover that, you can immediately get back into court and go and fight and go to trial and retry your case. My
Mm-hmm.
brother didn't want to take that opportunity, but because they offered him a plea deal for 16 to 32 instead of a 25 to 50, meaning that he'll be home next year in 2026. He'll see parole. He like, yo, I'm gonna just do 1 year. I'm not about to. He like, I'm not about to play with them people again. I'm getting out of their way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, bro, like that was, getting that
Hey,
news, getting
man.
that news this year, bro. My brother would have had to do 12 more years. Like that, a lot of people don't understand and can fathom that. Like up until March of 2025, my brother was serving 12 more years. It was basically a 27 to 50. He was going to
You
serve
at the
12.
you at the Pro Bowl and
Yeah,
you
I'm
get
at
a
the Pro
call.
Bowl. I get a call.
That,
Like it was just an amazing weekend, bro. Like I'm at
oh
the Pro Bowl and
man.
I get a phone call. Like, yeah, man. Well, actually, he sent like a long text to me and my mom in a group chat. And he was like, and I'm like, what? I'm reading the text, man, and my heart just dropped. And it was a dream come true, bro. Like that was, once my brother got his sentence, reduced, that was like the biggest. Like we've been fighting for this for the past 15 years, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it
Yeah.
was it was it was a journey that led me and the chip that was on my shoulder to make sure I'm at where I'm at today, man. And a big part of me feel complete that my brother's coming home next year, man. But we got a lot of time to make up for it.
Hey,
You know what I mean? Yeah, he
man.
only 5 years
Oh
older than me too, man. So he coming home young in shape, man. And I'm excited that he able to live life.
man, I listen, I loved it. Dog, you just took me through an emotional roller coaster just that fast, bro.
Yeah,
Like I'm feeling I'm empathetic, you know what I mean? So I'm
yeah,
feeling that and you talking and then you just bring it back home like with the good news, the Pro Bowl call and
yeah.
brother be home next year, man. God is real.
Real,
God is
real,
real. Like you say, that
real.
never happens, bro.
Never happens, bro.
That
Like
never
the
happens.
chances of you, getting your case overturned or, getting back in front of a judge to retry your case, bro, the chances is basically like it's like making it to the league all over again. Like it's
Yeah.
that is really is that low of a chance, man. And for us to kind of not kinda, but for us to go through that process, bro, and listen, every dollar that was spent was worth it. You know what I mean? And I spend it
Mhm.
all over again if I had to. You know what I'm saying? But it does take a lot of people in this situation. It does take a bit of finances to help you. But that was part of my grind. You know what I mean? And my hustle and you know
That hey, listen, new.
really, you know what I mean?
That's inspirational, bro. That's more motivational. Is
Sure.
oh you have such a story. When I it's like a thing for me. It's pivotal moments. Like we all have pivotal moments, things that happen, whether it's positive or negative,
Mhm.
that defines our life and where we go from there.
Sure.
And for me, like when my twins were on the way in college,
Yeah.
that was a pivotal moment for me. I
No
really
doubt.
had to lock in, make a decision to do everything possible to get to the league. I was in college, Arkansas Pine Bluff. I got twin girls on the way. I'm flat broke, so I was working as a janitor during the day, and then I would go
Man,
to the field house, work out, and practice. Like I literally just did that. For you, your brother gets sentenced. You're in the courtroom. You hear the judge say what the judge say. I'm sure you guys are filled with just pain, bro, sadness. You took that, Jonnu Smith, and you've turned that into this 9-year illustrious career and provided financially support. Just what was it like? Tell me that, Jonnu. Like, where did your mind go? How were you able to take such a negative, crushing blow, losing your brother,
Yeah.
losing your father figure as well,
Hmm.
and turn that into getting drafted and everything that you did? Like, what goes into that? What happened?
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's really, bro, and it enhanced my faith in God as well because if I really get into the story, man, it's crazy how I think. I mean, I've been thinking about writing a book. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man,
No, you
because
should,
the
bro.
way my life went, man, like just the way that my life went and the timing of things, man. Um, when my mom, when that, like 2010 was just a bad, like it was a lot of people close to me, man, lost their lives. And Philly was crazy. Philly was crazy, man. But
Yeah,
it was, that was a rough summer. Me and my family always reminisce about the summer of 2010, just because we know how painful it was for us as a family to go through what we went through, and so many different things happening around us. But it's such a bittersweet story, man, because literally, if the domino effect of everything, right? Like if those unfortunate events didn't take place, it never really would have forced my mom to move me and send me away to live with my aunt and my uncle,
it's
right?
crazy,
And
bro. It's
so, you know what I
crazy.
mean? And so it was like, and me and when we went to the prison, right? Me and my brother, had the opportunity to speak in front of 100 inmates, which is by far the most impactful community event that I've ever done in my life, man. But we was able to go and speak to those guys, man. It was we really, hit home. Like, my brother's demise was my rise. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
sure.
And his downfall was kind of like my breakthrough. But my brother, man, and it kind of ripped me to shreds, man, when I hear him say this, man. But he always harped like, man, like I man, he like say like, man, it's an honor, man, to take the fall so that my brother could be in this
Man,
situation. You know what I mean? Like, if I could, like, you know what I mean? Like, if this was the choice that I had to look back at and say, this is how life is going to be for your brother. You know what I mean? He was like, any day of the week, man, like, I'm taking that for my brother. You know what I mean? And that's the bond that brotherly bond, man, that just can't be broken. You know what I mean? Because that's the only brother. I ain't got two brothers. I ain't got three
right,
brothers.
right.
I got one brother. You know what I'm saying? And man, like that whole process of my journey from the age of 14, growing up in Ocala, Florida, having to write my brother in jail. You started off writing, one another like long letters, actually. You know what I mean? And then obviously this was back in 2010, so this was like before, like, the whole, because they used to have to put a lot of, I ain't really had money to put phone on the books and talk to them. You know what I mean? So I
Hmm.
used to have to wait till I get to college to do that. But and that was a struggle within itself, man. But my brother was able to live vicariously through me through this entire journey. You know what I mean? So that made it a lot more sweeter and smoother. But up until this year, he hadn't been able to watch my games unless it's been on primetime TV. You know what I
Oh
mean? So
yeah,
now
yeah,
that I'm in
yeah.
Pittsburgh, you know what I mean, he able to catch every game. So these next 6 months kind of flying by for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he
Oh,
kind of like,
that's
I'm chilling.
crazy, bro.
All I do is got to wait till Sunday, and I can, you know what I mean, I can see bro. You know what I'm
And
saying,
then
man?
next year, bro, he's there.
He
You know what
there.
I'm
He
saying? Like at
there.
the
He there,
game,
bro. July 18th, bro, right before training camp. You know what I mean? He come home right before training
man.
camp, man. July
I'm coming up
18th.
to Pittsburgh next year, bro. I want to
Come
come to
through, T.
the first
Come
game your
through,
brother
man.
at. I want to come to the game, dog.
Come through, bro.
I
It's
want
an
to come to the
amazing
game.
story, man. And ESPN picked up on it. And me and my brother, man, like, we wasn't ever looking at like no publicity for this or nothing, man. Like, we just was just honored, man, that day. We just blessed to be in the situation that we in the circumstance that we in now, and as far as him coming home next year. You know what I mean? And obviously
I
he's just.
get I get that for sure, no, but I would say, bro, that this your story's so powerful, and it's not about the publicity. You could help others
Oh, nah,
in
for sure. For
similar
sure. For
situations just
sure.
by
No
hearing. You know
doubt.
what I mean? It's such an inspiration, dog. Motor, like I'm, bro. You just took me through a roller coaster, bro. Like
Yeah,
of
bro.
emotion.
Yeah,
For
bro.
real.
Yeah, man.
You
It's
should definitely, and
I
we're gonna get this
appreciate
out
that.
for sure. But man, you
Nah,
need the book.
for sure, man. It's
Yeah,
trust me, bro. It is a credit. Like sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, man, this is really my life. Like, this is really how life played out for me and bro. You know what I mean? Because just a couple of like beginning of this year, we, in the back of your mind, we always kept the faith. Like, bro, you ain't gonna be there in the next. You're not coming home when you're 45, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna come home when you're 45 or 47. You know what I mean? And that's how we looking at it. But in the back of your head, you know what I mean, bro? We human, so it's a little element to us that doubt a little bit, man.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, up until this year, bro, it's like, I had dreams of my brother being free. You know what I mean? And like I dreamed of this moment, bro. Like I
Oh
dreamed
man,
of this moment, like living life in the
right.
world with my brother. You know what I mean? Like I just want to sit down and just see him eat. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to see
Yeah,
him eat, like see him enjoy
bro.
a meal. You know what I mean? Like just see him live life and see him have a wife and the children and you know what I mean? He missed his whole adulthood. He had to learn how to be a man in prison.
Yeah.
And that was another impactful thing about the whole visit because one thing that we was relaying to the inmates was, you guys don't know how much the impact that you can have on other people, not only in here but also outside of this world. Because take my brother for example. My brother had to become a man in prison. He got locked up when he was 20 years old, and now he's 35. And so all of his adulthood, basically, for most of his
Hmm.
adulthood, he spent in his last 15 years in prison. And so again, my father passed away when I was 4 years old. My brother was nine. So we didn't really have a male around us. My mom didn't get remarried, when we was young. You know what I'm saying? She never had no men around. My mom wasn't. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it was our main thing to the inmates was, my brother has instilled a lot of morals and values in me and integrity that I have as a man today is because a lot of life lessons that he's learned in prison. You know what I'm saying? A lot of like the positive things. Obviously, it could
For
be some
sure. For
negative
sure.
things that you can learn,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of positive aspects, man. If you really cultivate your mind and say, okay, I ain't gonna come here and BS and get on the wrong path in prison because it's easy to, again, there's a bunch of
Yeah.
dudes in there that's
Yeah.
criminals, and it's easy to go down that path, but it's some guys over there that's really trying to better their life and really trying to make some of themselves. And so my brother was one of them people. He like the model inmate, man. Record clean as a whistle. As soon as he got arrested, man, his life turned to a 180, and he just put all the BS behind him and was like, "I'm gonna become the best man I could possibly be." And a lot of the values that he learned from men that he looked up to in prison, he instilled that in me. And so when I was able to talk to those guys, man, I'm like, listen, man, y'all could still be impactful and powerful to you may have a son out here, a little brother, a friend, or cousin, whatever it may be. And that was one of the things that really hit home as well when we got a chance to talk to those guys, man. But man,
That's
crazy story
fire,
for
bro.
sure, bro.
That's
Yeah.
fire. No, before I change the climate of the conversation, because we're gonna talk some football, some Steelers
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
before I
Yeah.
let you go. But before I change the climate of the conversation, I want to ask a little bit more about family.
Yeah.
And one thing I definitely admire from you, being around you, is your love and admiration for your wife.
Mm. You
She
got to say
is,
that one more time, cause she got it. She where she at, man? 'Cause she got to hear you say that. You feel me? She got to
matter
hear
of
you
fact,
say.
I rather you talk about her. Like I'd rather you
Nah,
tell her. You know what I
for
mean? So
sure, for
like,
sure.
in a way that she's gonna see this. Like I saw it from a distance. We would go places, bro. Community events, go out, a boat, whatever. And like you got wifey with
Yeah,
you. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah, yeah,
she's your rock for sure. I love to see that, bro. That's it's
yeah,
fire.
yeah,
Talk talk to her right now on the set and just like give her flowers and all of
yeah.
this.
That boy put me on the spot with that one. I love it
Yeah.
though. No, I
Yeah.
love it though. I love it though, man, because it's funny we was just talking about this the other day, man. But my wife, man, literally, and I say this with all of my heart, man. I wouldn't be the good part of me wouldn't exist, right? If she the good part of me wouldn't thrive. You know what I mean? If I didn't have her by my side, man.
Damn.
Um, she really really in a positive way, right? When I look at myself, right, I'm really when I see her and I see me uh, interact with my wife, and I just see the person I am with my wife, it reveals how much of me that I need to continue to be better. And you always want that in your spouse, man. You always want that in your partner, right? Like you want them to be able to bring out the best in you. And that woman and the sacrifices that she's made for not only me but our four children throughout our, almost going on 6 years of marriage, man. I can't write them down, bro. You know what I mean? There ain't enough books in the world to write them down. And the amount of love that she continuously have, and like I'm like she a real wife, bro. Like T said, I ain't never, bro. Listen, man. When I tell you she make my life easier, you know what I'm saying? But like,
That's
and just
fire, bro.
the brains behind a lot of the things that go on. Like you talk about new family foundation, bro, and bro, wifey is run like she the one that's
Yeah,
like she do the dirty work. You know what I mean? She make it easy for me so that I could like those that new family camp that I hold every year, teach that I show up. You know what I mean? Like she just like you stay here when I tell you to come, you come. You know what I'm saying? And, you know
that's
what I mean?
fire,
Like
bro.
that time, I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? And she got everything in place for me, and I'm like, baby, I got it, I got it, I got it. And just having that partner by your side, man. You know, the Bible say that he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Good
You know what I
thing.
mean, bro? And I found my good thing, bro. And you know,
Yo, that's amazing, bro.
I get on her nerves, at times. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful that she could see, the good in me, man. And because she's such an amazing woman, I'm just so blessed to have her in my life as my wife and a mother as my children, bro.
I love it, bro. I love it. We gonna make sure she see this too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She
We
got to
gonna
see
make
that.
sure she.
She
Yeah,
got to
no,
see
for sure, man.
that.
But for real, just from the outside looking in, bro, just seeing like anytime we would go anywhere, you got wifey with you, and I'm like, bro, that's fire, dog. Like y'all were really best friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, and that's
that's
what you
so
want,
dope.
man. Like,
That's
like
dope.
for sure.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and get into a little football. I know you gotta go. You gotta get prepared for the week. You got
You
Sunday
know, I,
night football coming up.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So y'all just had a hard fought game against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm.
Dropped that game. Really was it came off as a surprise to me, bro. Before the game, I thought y'all was gonna smash Cincy. Joe Flacco was like, hey, I gotta make up these
Joe
weapons.
Flacco had other plans.
Yeah, he was out there
You feel
balling.
me?
He was
Yeah.
balling. Mike Tomlin, he made the comments about the GM trading Joe Flacco in the division, which I completely understand. Mike Tomlin's point. You know what I mean? Like you got a team in your division suffering, you let them suffer. How you feel
How
about
you
that?
just
Like,
like you bail him out, right?
yeah. What you feel? How you feel about that?
Yeah, man. I mean, as far as like the whole trade, or with Mike T perspective on it.
From Mike Tomlin perspective.
Yeah. Nah, man, Mike T, Mike T, bro. First of all, let me say this, bro, because I've been around a lot of good coaches. Mike T, one of the realest human beings you'll ever meet. You know what I'm
That's all
saying?
I
Like
hear about, bro. That's
just
all I
through
hear
and
from
through.
anybody
Teach
saying.
that, like just through and through, bro. Like the amount of respect I got for this man and only being around him for a couple of months now, man, it's just through the roof. You know what I mean? Like, you know how these head coaches can get up there in front of a team meeting and talk and talk and talk. And you be like, all right, man, like I just he just trying to, get a little pet rally going. Like, nah, he just telling he here to tell you what it is, what we need to do to win, why we need to win, why you here. Like he just gonna lay it all out in front of you, you know what I mean, on just on a real level. And he ain't up there for the extra mumbo jumbo talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He mean what he say, and he ain't gonna be long winded. You know what I mean? If he not long winded, if he need to be, extended for a period of time, his conversation is gonna be fluent and it's gonna be to the point. But just a hell of a person, bro, and a leader of men. And people, guys run through brick walls for coaches like that, man.
for sure.
And so
For sure.
it's definitely a honor playing for Mike T. But the whole Joe Flacco situation and his perspective on it. I think uh, from a player's perspective. So obviously, bro, our job show up every Sunday. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So we don't
And
care. Yeah, as
show up,
players, we don't care.
like yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's our job to show up every Sunday, right? Like whether like T said, bro, like whether you got to go up against Miles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Micah
Yeah.
Parsons. like whether they on the injury report or not, like yeah, it's coming to play. Like you don't care
For
about,
sure.
you know what I mean, who's lining up, and that's why you is who you is. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be the fourth. Like you about to take the same approach what you was gonna have with one of them guys if they, to the same level if the second string was playing that
Right.
week. You know
Practice
what I
squad
mean?
guy or something.
Practice
For
squad
sure.
guy,
For
right? You're
sure.
gonna have the same approach. It don't matter who it is. And so, from that perspective, it didn't matter. And Mike T hit on that. He like, listen, I don't give a damn who they got. You know what I mean? That wasn't the point. He like, I
Yeah.
don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, much respect to them guys. I got respect for Joe and all of those guys. But we got a game to win. I think the media kind of
Misconstrued. Yeah.
yeah, misinterpreted kind of the message that he was saying. You know what I mean? Because Mike T is about winning, bro, and he could care less who he. When I tell you he a real dude, you know what I mean, and real dudes want to play for him, like, he got that type of mindset. Like I really don't care who back there. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco, whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so, I think it was just misinterpreted, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I got you. And I get what he's saying from a business style, not business, but like as far as the division goes, like you got somebody suffering, you let them suffer. So I understand that part. I know he don't care who playing where, all that for sure.
Yeah,
Mike Tom, I've only heard great things about Mike Tomlin, bro. I played for some great coaches
yeah,
throughout
yeah.
my career. Mike Tomlin and Andy Reid are like the two coaches that I feel like I would have played. I would have loved to play for if I ever
You
had to go
and you
anywhere
and
else.
you would have, bro. Like knowing you, like you and Mike T would have just meshed well because y'all speak the same language. Like it just cut and dry, real dude through and through, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he about winning. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't playing no favorites. You know what I mean? He treating everybody in the building with the same amount of respect, the
I
same
love it.
level, the
Love that.
same amount of gratitude, whether you the janitor or you Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, and that's the kind of dude I am. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what you accomplish. I respect what you accomplish.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? Like, we all in this together. You know what I mean? So.
You just said a name there. We got to talk about him. How is it? How is it playing with
Hey,
Aaron
y'all.
Rodgers? What's that like?
See, it's different, bro. It's different. It's different, dog. Like,
In what way?
yeah, and
Expand on
what
that for me.
and what way, like, you ain't never gonna see. I mean, especially in this generation, but you just not gonna see that type of. You're not gonna see that type of arm talent mixed with that brain in this generation, bro. You
Got
know
you.
what I mean? Like
Got
the
you.
way, like you talk about a field general, with the arm of a jug machine. You know what I'm saying? And can make every single
Mm,
throw, back foot. I
my
remember
arm is
last
a judgment
game.
machine.
I remember last game, dog. I'm running like a deep over route, and A Rod, running the opposite way from one another, and so I kind of slow down and come back and get in phase with him for the scramble drill because he rolling to the opposite side of the field, and so
Mm-hmm.
he winds up sliding or whatever, and we come back. I just thought this was funny, man. I was talking to my guys about this, recently. So we come back to the sideline, and he like, "No, what you doing, man? Keep running." I'm like, "What you mean? I'm getting in phase with you to scramble." He like, "Nah, just keep running. I'm gonna make that throw." I'm like, "Well, all right, damn, I got you." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "I got you." You know what I mean? But like, just being like, just hearing those, like, bro, you really about, but no, but seeing it though. You know what I
For
mean? And
sure.
then like the throw that he made, the move. You know what I mean? To kind of put us up one, on that seam ball, and even the him scrambling and the touchdown he had to me
Touchdown to
on the
you.
first
Yep.
drive of the game. You know what I mean? Like him just being able to still be mobile and just make certain throws, bro. It just slowed the game down differently. Like you see why he getting his jacket. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
For sure.
Um,
He
the
playing really well too, man.
Bro,
Really
and
well.
I think he could play. He can keep playing his game at a high level and he's not. He playing what he playing at a high level. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love him. I love
For,
him.
for a long time, and bro. But more than that, though, like you done heard all the antics about A Rod. Oh, he a shitty teammate, he
Yeah, for
asshole.
sure. That's what I
All
want to
of that
know.
stuff. Yeah, I mean, bro, like, bro, one of the best teammates I've been around, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Fire.
locker room dude. You know what I'm saying? Like just a true
Fire.
locker room dude. Like chill with the guys. We going out Thursday, and he, telling us, a bunch of stories about, his time in Green Bay and just, him being around certain guys, and we all laughing because this went down or whatever happened, but like just one of the guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
That's
just a
fire,
real
man.
laid back Southern California dude. You know what I mean? Where his flip flops. You know what I mean? His dark shades, bro, and his hat, his little trucker hat, bro, and just a real dude.
I'm happy to hear that, man. You get a lot of speculation about Aaron Rodgers and him being a bad teammate and all that stuff. So I'm really happy to hear that from you because I know how you are, the
Yeah,
man you are, and you know what
yeah,
I mean. That's
yeah.
fire. That's fire.
Nah, if it was something, if it was another way, I'd be like, yeah, he cool people. You know what I'm
You wouldn't
saying?
rock with him. You
You know what I
wouldn't
mean?
rock with
Like,
him.
if it,
I'm
I'd
already
be,
knowing.
like, you know what I mean? But no, like, just real genuine dude, man.
What tell me about the situation when Broderick Jones tackled him and because he got up, he looked pissed. He
Bro,
looked hot about that.
bro, I don't know what. Listen, man, bro. I'm a listen, man. Bro, better stay his ass off A-Rod. I know that much. Bro, better
He a
stay his
big
ass
dude.
off
He a
A-Rod.
big dude, man.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what Bro had going on, man. But Bro's still young, man. So he that's a lesson learned for him. A-Rod looked like he
For
was
sure.
about to two-piece the hell out of Rod, though, man. As soon as he got up,
No question.
for
No
sure.
question. All right, man. You guys are wearing these throwback 1933 throwback jerseys Sunday night football against the Green Bay Packers. I know you are looking for a big W. Gonna be fresh in those throwbacks. How you feeling about this upcoming game Sunday night?
It's a big game for us, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's a big game. It's a big game for us. Every game is a big game in the NFL, and they just keep honestly, man. The deeper you go into this thing, they just keep getting bigger. You know what I mean? And they just
True,
mean so much.
true.
And like,
Pause. But yeah.
just think. Not
But yeah,
you,
I'm with
dog.
you, man.
Not you,
I'm with
bro.
you though. No, let's roll. Let's
Nah,
roll.
nah, yeah, pause for real though. You know what I mean? But but nah. So because you got to think, bro. Like, just think about the situation we was in last year. Like, we in week we in week 18, 17th game of the year. We in New York, and that game came down to us beating the Jets and Kansas City losing to Denver.
To the Broncos. Yep.
Yeah, Kansas City losing to Denver. And so when you think back on that season, you think about all of those games, right, that, we let slip away, like Arizona. You know what I mean?
Colts.
Games like Arizona, right. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Colts
Yep.
and just games like that, bro. And losing games, those two games right there put us, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so that's but every game, man, like the lights just get brighter. You know what I'm saying? That's the NFL, bro. That's the beauty of the league. You know what I mean? And so that's just what we in. It's gonna be a dogfight. Sunday night football. They 4-1-1, we 4-2. We hungry, they hungry, and we coming to get our coming to with our best work.
I can't wait to see it, man. I'm taking the Steelers on this one. Green Bay they've been just a little too inconsistent for me to pick them to win this one.
Salute.
The defense
So
is fire, bro, but I don't know, man. I'm
yeah,
taking y'all.
yeah.
I'm taking y'all.
Well, let
I
me
need a
ask you
big
this question,
performance
bro.
from
Who
you.
you who you who your dark horse of the season right now?
Dark horse. It's kind of it's this season been so
I feel like it's a lot more parity this year
yeah.
than it has been. Like, I don't think it's no clip. Like, for sure,
It
bro. I
hasn't
will
been.
say one thing about the league. Like, this year, and I like it that way. I mean,
Me
I
too.
like it that
Me
way,
too.
bro. Like, who you got, right? It's like who you got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the question that everybody, that from a fan perspective, obviously, that that everybody is asking, dog. But
I
um,
I really like the Broncos. I really like the Rams. So AFC
yeah.
side the Broncos, NFC side the Rams. But y'all, um, Chiefs, Buffalo, Broncos, I think will be the final four on the AFC side.
Ain't no
You know,
doubt.
so
Ain't no
so
doubt.
we
You
we're
heard it
gonna see.
first. You heard it
Yeah,
first. You know what
y'all be
I
the final four.
mean?
Y'all would have a home game because y'all can win the division. Lamar coming back this week now
Listen, bro, we gotta handle business.
for
Like,
sure,
we
for
gotta
sure.
handle business, man. You know what I mean? Like, we let that one, get away in Cincinnati. That would have been big for us. You know what I
See
mean?
those, that was to your point. Like those hurt. You know what I mean?
hmm
Those type losses.
You know
Yeah,
how I go. You know how I
for sure.
go. And so, however the math come out, that math with this playoff bracket always, you get crazy at the end of the year, man. But however that math play out, bro, the easiest way to solve them problems is win. You know what I
Facts.
mean? It's the easiest way to solve the math problems at the end of the year, man, is win, dog. So, we up for the challenge, bro. We ready to roll.
I'm already knowing, man. I'm already knowing.
Yes,
New,
sir.
I'm gonna let you get out of here, bro. I know you got to get
Bro,
prepared,
my
get your
dog,
body
man.
right.
That's always love, bro. I appreciate you having me,
Love,
man.
man,
Again,
love.
you know what I mean? We gonna get ready for round 3 after we win the Super Bowl, dog. You know what I
Ooh, let's
mean?
go.
We gonna get ready for
Let's
round
go.
3.
Let's go, man. Hey, appreciate you again, New.
Love, my
All
boy.
love, brother, for
You
sure.
know that.
Congratulations again, man. Everything that you're doing in the community, your
I appreciate
story
you,
and who
brother.
you are as a man, very inspirational, bro. Motivational. Continue to lead. Continue to share too, bro. I know
I
it's
got you,
it's
bro.
new for you, but continue to share, bro. That your
I
story,
got you.
your light that you have, man. Share that. You know
T,
what I
I
mean?
got you, my brother, man. You already know it's love this way through the roof, bro. Much
For
blessings
sure.
to you and the fam, dog.
My dog, man. I
You already
appreciate
know
you,
that.
New.
Enjoy retirement, homie.
Yes, sir.
I got you.
All right,
All
bro.
right, boy.
Man, that was a crazy, crazy conversation. It was a roller coaster, truly like a journey of emotions. Having that conversation with Jonnu, everything that he's been through, truly inspirational story in person. Great man, really, just real. Everything about him. I'm a huge fan, huge privileged and honored to be a friend and brother of Jonnu Smith. Greatly appreciated, and I appreciate you for being here and rocking with the set. Thank you.